Well, welcome everybody. Welcome today. I'm Jason Pullen, Pastor Jason, and I'm happy today to be with Mr. Ray Lawrence from Abundance Income in Canada. So there's a lot which he's doing, but before we get into that, I met Mr. Lawrence around 2016. So I just want to ask him a few questions so you get to know a bit about him. Okay. So, Mr. Lawrence, it's a pleasure to interview you, and it was an honor to meet you when I met you back in 2016. But I wanted just for the people to know, I know a bit about you, but I want just for the people to know, maybe you can tell us a bit about your life story, your brief history,
Well,
journey.
I immigrated about 50 years ago from India to Canada. And when I went to Canada, it was a new country and I had to look for a new career. And by accident, I got into the world of finances. And for 45 years, I've been in the world of finances, fairly successful. The problem was I was making money or working very hard to make money. It's only after I retired at around age 70 and I had time to learn about investments. Instead of making money, investing money. And to my surprise, I found that real estate was one of the best things I could invest in. Because the bank gives you the money, the tenant pays the rent, and the tax department gives you tax breaks. So I've got three entities working for me: the banks, the tenant, and the tax department. So that got me so excited that I bought a few properties in the US, in Florida, a few more properties in Niagara Falls, which I still have. But now in my 80s, I found that instead of owning properties and managing properties, which is not easy, I could actually have investments in real estate syndications. I could invest in a syndication where there are 200, 300, 500 properties or homes that I can invest in, and I don't have to manage it. I don't have to forget a mortgage. I got 100 people running the syndication. So I'm getting passive income, and anyone with even little money can participate in a real estate income syndication.
So this is what you're currently working on in your 80s.
Yeah. So now I'm focusing on helping my 18 grandchildren to have passive income from real estate syndications. So they can do whatever they do in life, but on top of that, they can still have passive income with the syndication doing everything.
Okay, what I wanted to know now, because we're going to add, you'll watch some more videos as we go on, which Mr. Lawrence is speaking of. But what I want to know now is can you tell me what is your passion in life, your main passion?
My main passion now, since I've learned how to develop or grow passive income, I want to share it with the world.
Okay.
On this trip to Africa, where I come to visit my daughter, I saw that a lot of people here, with the financial situation being bad, the banks having no money, they are kind of stuck. And yet they don't know that with little money, very little money, they could actually invest in a US real estate syndication and earn income and have that asset grow while they're sitting here in Africa. And if that can be done, we can elevate the income of people in Africa.
So one of your main passions, we can say, is to get rid of poverty.
I wouldn't say get rid of poverty, but you know what? 40 years ago, when Nixon met Mao, China, China was an impoverished country, third world country, just like Africa. But because Nixon shook hands with Mao and said, let's do business together, the Chinese took full advantage of the wealth in the USA, and they grew from a third world country to now almost the second strongest economy in the world. Now, Africa can accomplish the same using real estate syndications where people from Africa can participate in the syndications in the US without moving to the US.
That's very powerful. As you can see, Mr. Lawrence has got a passion of what he's active with, and but I know you a little bit more than the people out there know you. So I just wanted to ask you, what can you say is one of your biggest life achievements, or some of your life achievements, which maybe the people are not aware of?
Well, when I got into the insurance industry 50 years ago,
Okay.
I was one of the first person, in fact, the only person who accomplished mdrt, Million Dollar Roundtable, in the very first year I got into the business. That's a very high accomplishment. People spend 20 or 30 years in the business and never qualify for Million Dollar Roundtable. I qualified in the very first year.
And that was, if I'm correct, it was in a new country.
New country.
You knew no one in that place.
2 years in the country, and I accomplished that. It sent shockwaves to the whole company. Then I kind of was forced to do it year after year, and I did it 10 years in a row, and today I'm one of the very, very few who's a life member of the Million Dollar Roundtable. But having said that, I look back and I say, the mistake I made, I was making money, lots of money, but I was not investing money. So what I want to message people today, while they're making money, they can also learn how to invest money with very little that they have. And one of the best ways to do that is real estate syndications.
Because what you're building up is the next question which I wanted to ask you, is that what is your most important life lesson, just in life, that you've learned so far, which you can share with the people?
Okay, the mistakes I made in life, as successful as I was, the biggest mistake was I was working for money.
Right.
I didn't learn how to make money work for me. So today I'm trying to share with people how they can have money work for them, even if they don't have the time or the expertise to do it.
Right.
Because through an real estate syndication, they don't need the expertise nor the time to have assets that grow and produce income effortlessly, with absolutely no effort. Now, to accomplish this, I want to establish workshops, and I'm hoping in Africa that I find a few good people that we can form a group just to educate people to make money work for them instead of they working for money.
That's great. So that's an important life lesson. Just on the closing, as you can see, Mr. Lawrence has got a lot which he has got, and we'll share that in some other videos where you can find out more about this, about real estate and everything at the workshops which he's working on. But the final question which I want to ask you is that if there was one person in life, a historical figure who you could meet up with, who would you meet up with, and what question would you ask that person? Just anyone, any famous person, anyone who, if you could meet that person, who would you like to meet with, even if it's a present day person, and what would you ask them?
Jeff Bezos, who's built Amazon just on a technology that he had, and he knew how to monetize that technology and give people what they want cheaper and faster than anyone else. That made him the richest man in the world. So today we need people like Jeff Bezos.
So would you like to meet with Jeff Bezos if you could?
I would love to meet with him. I almost know him because I follow him very closely.
What I want to know is what would you speak with Mr. Bezos if you got the opportunity to meet him?
The question I would ask him is, what gave him the drive to do what he did? And that's what I would like to know, because I want to find people who have a drive, who want to be game changers, like Jeff Bezos was, like Elon Musk is, And today the world of technology is helping young people to do that. So I like to surround myself with a lot of young people, especially here in Africa, where the opportunity is huge. So instead of looking at the problems we have in Africa, I like people to look at the opportunities we have. And if I can form a group of positive-minded people, people who want to help the local people, I'd love to form that group before I leave. And if the group is set up, I don't mind coming back and working with a group to go beyond Zimbabwe South Africa, Zambia, Nigeria.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Lawrence. So this is just a brief on what we've spoken on here with Mr. Lawrence on his achievements and all that. As you can see, he's got so much passion for what he wants to deliver. So make sure you watch the other videos which we're going to bring here, where you can find out more about this opportunity and everything that he's speaking of. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you.